The superlatives coming out of the weekend that was. Only one game to talk about, Chris. Superlatives from Super Bowl 53. You get the first one.
Well, you look tired, Mike. Just everybody there on Sky Sports. Mike's been up all night. He doesn't usually look like this.
I have
He's
not
tired.
slept.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure they knew what you really look like. It's a tired Monday for you. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew about that.
Thanks.
No problem. Okay. I think my first superlative, sorry if I could spit that out there. Yeah, a little trouble there.
Yeah.
Would be
Hey, at least I have an excuse. I'm tired.
Hey, why not coaches? That's my superlative right there. Why not coaches? And what I mean by this is I think if there was ever a game, this is a two parts I got for you here. Why not coaches? If there was ever a game for the head coach to become the MVP of a game, like Bill Belichick should have got it last night. That should have been the MVP. One, okay, yes, because look at what they did. The Rams, the high-powered team. We saw this wasn't about great Jimmies and Joes winning this Super Bowl matchup last night between the Patriots and the Rams. It wasn't about the Jimmies and Joes. It was about the X's and O's once again by Bill Belichick. And two-part, I don't know how I feel about a guy who was suspended for the first 4 games of the year for performance-enhancing drugs, and his defense for what happened with the drug test was, I'm not really sure. I don't know how I feel about that, about the guy now being the Super Bowl MVP who obviously did something he was not supposed to. So it's a weird dynamic for me. You know, my little boy asked me last night, why was Julian Edelman suspended for the first 4 games of the year this year? Somebody had told him that online as he was playing Madden at halftime or whatever. And I have to explain to him, well, son, he took performance-enhancing drugs. What are that? Oh, the things that make your muscles bigger. Oh, that's why he wins the MVP. So I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure the NFL doesn't need to step in these instances and maybe not even let that happen, because I know that's a rule in Major League Baseball.
Well, one thing that definitely happens for a guy who's been suspended for PEDs, he's not eligible for any of the, the Pro Bowl or the related awards that come out of that. But he's eligible to play in the postseason. He's eligible to win the MVP award. And look, I look at it this way. Whatever caused him to get suspended for those 4 games, the end result is enhanced testing. I'd like to think he's clean now.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Because he's tested far more frequently than he otherwise would have been.
Right.
So we can assume that what we saw last night was a guy who isn't pharmaceutically enhanced beyond whatever supplements the NFL allows. But, Chris, this is the second time for the Patriots to have the MVP of the Super Bowl be a guy who was suspended the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Super Bowl 51, Tom Brady was suspended for the first 4 games due to the final outcome of the Deflategate controversy.
Right.
And now 2 years later, Edelman misses the first 4 games. I joked last night, hey, okay, 2016, Brady misses 4 games. He's the MVP of the Super Bowl. 2018, Edelman misses 4 games. He's the MVP of the Super Bowl. In 2020, the Patriots players are going to be chugging liquid steroids in the hopes of missing the first 4 games of the season. Well, that's the formula to be the Super Bowl MVP.
I hear you. And I really do
joking.
think I know what you mean. I know you're joking. I think the big thing too is, like, I do think that if there was ever a game or a coach, I mean, come on, that was unbelievable. Here we were.
Chris.
Go ahead. What?
It's MVP. It's MVP. Most valuable player.
Most valuable
By definition. Okay, well, they have to change it to a different P, right? But as long as it's most valuable player, your argument's not going anywhere. If you want to change the whole thing to most valuable individual, most valuable person, okay. Yes. And I think under that scenario, the coach does get consideration. But that would just be weird, that if the coach would be in the same bucket as the players. Then again, they're in the same bucket as the players for getting into the Hall of Fame, so maybe they should be.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we break rules all the time. I mean, why not? I don't understand why. It's okay. I'm just saying that was a rare instance in where we saw the greatest coach of all time in the year of, okay, how ironic is it, the year of, offensive explosion and points, touchdowns, points, fantasy, this is awesome. And Bill Belichick says, 3 points in the Super Bowl. Sorry, negative Ghost Rider. I know how to coach still. I just think it was an amazing performance by him. That's really what I wanted to shed light on, and, of course, a little bit on the Edelman situation as well.
How much of it's him and how much of it is the de facto defensive coordinator, Brian Flores, who, as of today, assuming they let him get out of the building, will be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I think Brian Flores is he's a top-notch football coach. You've heard me wax poetically about him the last few weeks. He's amazing, and I think a lot of it is him. He comes up with the game plan, a lot of the nuts and bolts of that game plan, and then Belichick tweaks and questions it and does things from there. But Flores certainly deserves a lot of the credit. And, hey, we saw a step up in their defense this year. Maybe they were a little more talented than last year, but, it's hard to argue that Brian Flores, didn't do a better job than the new head coach of the Detroit Lions, Matt Patricia, did last year. There was an improvement with that Patriots defense.
Well, and that is amazing, too, when we consider what the Eagles and Nick Foles did to the Patriots last year and what Sean McVay, Jared Goff, and the Rams weren't able to do this year. All right, this feels like a title you would use. I think I've been hanging around you too much. I'm starting to talk like you. I'm starting to act like you. You would call this the Johnny on the Spot Award because it doesn't have a whole lot of creativity. It's fairly obvious. Johnny on the Spot Award goes to Jason McCourty, who, for all of the things that the MV person did by putting together that game plan, there was a point in the third quarter when the Rams were down 3-0, and Brandon Cooks sprung wide open, and he was at the back of the end zone, and there was a touchdown, and Jason McCourty gets over and blows it up and prevents the Rams from getting that touchdown. And that wasn't even his guy, but he saw what was going on, and he got over and disrupted it. Cooks wide open. Now, Goff waited too long to throw it, but McCourty got over and made that play. And you make that a touchdown. That changes everything for the rest of the game. That adds pressure to the Patriots. Maybe they make a mistake on their next drive, and the next thing you know, it goes from 7-3 to 10-3 or 14-3, and that the whole game changes potentially if McCourty does not make that play.
Well, that's what makes them amazing. They get these players that they have great football IQ and intelligence, and there they are. Yeah, you're right. Wasn't really necessarily Jason McCourty's area, but he realized there was a deficiency or a hole in the defense, and I'm going to cover up for it. I've played enough football. I'm smart. Belichick, Brian Flores have taught me so much of what to look for and what to read for. So not only was he Johnny on the spot that play, hey, he's Johnny on the spot about to get a new ring too. Good job by him joining his brother up there and, of course, getting his first Super Bowl ring. That's a pretty cool experience for that family in general. And they're great people. I've known them since they were very young. They played against my brother in high school, so couldn't be happy enough for those two, really, because they live what they preach. They work hard. They love the sport, so that's really cool. Okay, this has to be – I got to do it because it might be my last chance to do it all year. But we're going to build a wall. We're going to build a wall. And Robert Kraft is going to pay for it because that goes to the New England Patriots, okay? Because what they did, this playoff wall that they created, Mike, I mean, whoa. I don't care if it was concrete, slots, barriers, whatever. It was really awesome. I'm having fun.
You're really determined to do this today, aren't you?
Well, I just thought it'd be fun. But the Patriots, come on. This is an unbelievable performance by their offensive line. Once again, I mean, not only in the run game, but all we worried about was Donald, Sue, are they going to ruin the game? And they went through the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Rams, the best pass rushing D-lines the sport has to offer. And none of them touched Tom Brady. Franklin, the only guy with a sack yesterday. I mean, Sue and Donald basically unheard of. It just speaks not only, once again, to the great coaching of Dante Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach of the New England Patriots, who, like Bill Belichick said this week, is probably the greatest offensive line coach in the history of the NFL. But the guys they've accumulated up there, it's a talented group. And once again, just another example of New England zigging while the rest of the league is zagging. Oh, you get in the spread offense. You get all these cool, young hipster offensive coaches to be your head coach. But I don't think these defensive guys have seen smash mouth pulling guard in a long time. And Belichick's decided to go that route. And here they are, of course, the champions of football once again.
On that point, don't you think the Bengals are at least wondering today whether or not they should take advantage of the fact that there isn't an official deal with Rams quarterbacks coach Zach Taylor and maybe look in a different direction? Maybe this whole, hey, he's a friend of Sean McVay's, he's worked with Sean McVay's, maybe that's not the magic bullet that we thought it was?
Well, I mean, this is the day where they're going, hey, I know Sean McVay, but that was his game plan. I didn't come up with that. What did he do?
All right, hey, I got another one for you. This one is the It's Not a Lie If You Believe It award, because I'm so sick of hearing this. No one believed in the Patriots. No one. Bill Belichick last night when they got the trophy, they counted us out from the start of the season. Who? Everybody. No, they didn't. But they only listen to what they want to listen to. They only hear what they want to hear, and they only believe what they want to believe. And it works. So, yes, it's a bunch of crap, but they've convinced themselves it's true, so it doesn't matter. It's not a lie if you believe it, and they believe that people out there didn't believe in them. They believe that people didn't pick them to get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. They believe that you and I didn't pick them to win the Super Bowl. They ignore the voices that favor them. They obsess over the voices that doubt them. And they've made it work. And I guarantee you already, they're thinking about next year, because the Chiefs are the favorites to win Super Bowl 54, not the team that just won their 6th Super Bowl. And, they don't believe in us already for next year. And it's going to continue and continue and continue as long as they can convince themselves that it's the truth, even when it isn't.
Yeah, this is a Patriots team that was chippier than normal. I mean, they took things a little bit more personal. I almost want to say this was like similar to that Patriots team who beat the Eagles with Rodney Harrison and company, who were a little chippy and found any way or anything possible really to motivate themselves. Whether, I can remember Rodney Harrison getting the interception and doing the Eagles wings because, they were frustrated and sick of seeing the Eagles and the offense and Terrell Owens and all those things. I also think, to your point, right, Mike? I mean, I don't know. I don't remember seeing Bill Belichick so relaxed. The Saturday walkthrough, the families went. Friday declaring the team was ready to go. Yesterday on the podium, I mean, that was as jubilant as I've ever seen Bill Belichick. I mean, so that to me, I think also tells you he had a team he trusted and was motivated and did the things that he wanted on a consistent basis, and that's why they're the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, well, I think he also knew that after 2 weeks of studying what the Rams do, they knew exactly what needed to be done, and they were highly confident they'd be able to pull it off.
Yeah, no doubt. We got time for more superlatives?
You got any others?
Yeah, I
let's
do.
Jam in one more.
Well, like the Don't Forget About Us, I'm going to give the Don't Forget About Us award, or whatever the hell you want to call it here. I want to talk about the Rams defense. They played phenomenal football. I mean, they really did. But what happened? The nightmare of what we talked about a little last week, right, Mike? And the thing that I worried about, certainly, the Rams defense being on the field too much. And in the first half, they were on the field twice as much as the Patriots defense. And then there we were late in the fourth quarter, and we never heard Dante Fowler, Aaron Donald, and Ndamukong Suh's name, not for 1 second. They couldn't get by close to Brady in any of the big moments to create a big play or do any of that. And not only goes to the coaching, but again, the offensive line. But still, this Rams defense deserves a lot of credit. Holding the New England Patriots offense, which has one of the best run games I've seen in a long time, and really slowing down the pass offense for the most part of the day, other than just not having an answer for Julian Edelman in a few big plays. They played phenomenal. And like you said to start the show, I think if McVay said, the Patriots scored 13 points, then we got a chance to win this football game. And, of course, that wasn't the case.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.